I've always told him everything. All I could tell him is, I love you, Dad. And I'll always love you. I don't want to leave. I'm trying so hard to stay alive. Like he says in one of his songs, I'm fighting for my life. And I just don't want to leave him soon. And I hope I don't. But he knows I love him. And I'll always love him. Yes, and I'm very proud of him. And I tell him from the bottom of my heart, mijo, I hope you really make it. And probably when you make it, I'll be gone. Because that's how it's going to be. But I'm proud of you now. And I'm letting you know now how much I love you, how much I care for you. And I tell him, no matter where I'm at, papi, I'll always love you. I love you since the moment I knew I was going to have you. And I don't love you. I adore you. I adore him. Him and my other boys.
I think so, because she was just screaming like, yeah, it was weird. Yeah, it was just weird. I'm assuming she was in pain for her to yell like that. And I think they would give her medication to calm her down. And they were saying that the fact that she could even scream was a surprise because the state she was going in, it was real bad. So that it was actually a good sign that she could actually yell like that. But I'm assuming she was in pain when I walked in. And I would see like the nurses carry her and all that. That's when she would yell the most.
The day that she passed and you got home, what was it like? Like, what did you feel knowing that she would never come home again?
It was the worst feeling ever. It was the day that I knew would come, and it was something she would always tell me she was never going to be here forever. And I always, to be honest, I think what it was, we were in shock. Obviously, I was in pain. I was crying. I never cried in front of my brothers, but they were crying. I think what it was, we were all in shock. It was just like, you don't know how to feel. It's shock, obviously. I wanted my mom here with me, but it was more like I was just in shock. Like, I think it truly didn't kick in. And it kicked in a little more like a few months later, where it's like, wow, like for reals, my mom's never coming back. I'm never gonna speak to her again. And then obviously like the year anniversary, it's like you're kind of still like shocked in a way, because I was trying to work and try not to think about it. And I was like, for real, she's gone. I don't know, I guess it's just different the way everyone deals with the pain.
What do you miss the most about her?
I miss her yelling at me. I'd do anything to hear her yell at me one more time. For a while when she first passed, I kind of regret being on the road. I stopped and I thought about it, and I don't, because I know my mom wouldn't have had it any other way. She was the only one who would push me. Don't want me to get out there and try my hardest.
You know, because she made that mention that most likely when you do make it, that she wouldn't be here. Mm-hmm. But like the beautiful thing is that, at least I think, that she did get to see the beginning of your career materializing.
Yeah.
Does that make you happy?
Yeah, it does, because she was there for the beginning. I remember the mindset she used to listen to, and she used to walk into the house and she would tell me, Jay, I'm tired of your voice. And it would be because she was listening to my CD nonstop on repeat, even though I'm sure she didn't understand half the things I say. Yeah, I'm glad she did. I know to this day she's still smiling and seeing that I'm still going, and it's only getting better, and it's only the beginning. But I'm glad she did get to witness the beginning, the very beginning at least. She was fine. I wasn't around. That's when I was on tour. I was on the bus. She was fine, and she's constantly in and out of the hospital, so that's normal to us. So, but this time she just happened to check in, and she just never came back, which was, of course, affected me drastically. But I mean, I spoke to her. I remember I would talk to her just about every other day while I was on the road, and she seemed fine. And then towards the end, when I came back, she just went to the hospital, and I remember I kept calling her. She wasn't answering my calls. It was weird to me. And then I truly don't remember. I think one of my cousins called me, and that's when they told me, oh, your mom's in the hospital. So as soon as that happened, of course, I came back right away. And when I came back, she was really ill. She was in a She was like a vegetable. Like I couldn't even speak to her. I would speak to her and she would respond to me, and it was weird because all the doctors and nurses would say that she wouldn't respond to anybody, that she would just yell in pain. And with me, when I went to go visit her for the first time, I spoke to her and she was responding to me because I would tell her, I was like, Mom, it's me, do you know who it is? And she would say yes, and she struggled, but she said it, and I would just tell her I love her. And yeah. But yeah, it was hard. She was doing really bad. She was getting worse in the vegetable state she was in. And she was in a local community hospital, and they switched her to a bigger one. And when they switched her to the bigger one, they seemed to get a lot more done in a shorter amount of time, because it looks like they were fixing her with whatever medication, because they had a whole team of doctors run tests on her. And it looked like she was getting better, so we were all happier. They were kind of telling us that it was pretty bad, that it was deadly, but like we had faith, especially at the new hospital, and because she was doing better with the new medication and the antibiotics they were giving her. So it was just sad because we went to go visit her and we just took off, and then I literally just got home. I remember I got a phone call from her best friend who was still with my mom at the hospital, and she told me, your mom just passed away. And because when you're in that vegetable state that she was in, you're prone to get a lot of heart attacks and strokes, I believe, and she got multiple ones at once, and she was getting them throughout that whole stage, but she was surviving them because they were little. But I guess this time she got too many and they were all strong, and she didn't survive. So they called me and I had to go back. And since I'm the oldest son mentally, because my older brother, well, he's special, so I had to make the decisions and had to go sign the paperwork. So that's when I went back. I don't know, because even if I was there, I would have been kicked out. Because usually when they do little, I think that was during the times when like they kick you out for a bit and they clean up, and or they change her, they do what they got to do. So we took off because we were tired, but her friend was there. So we figured we'd come home for a little bit. I was going to feed my brothers, and then we were going to go back, but then I got the phone call. It's kind of weird because I kind of sensed it was going to happen. I just didn't want to believe it. Believe it or not, I know my mom was struggling, and I know she wanted to keep fighting to stay alive. But I felt, because I was gone for so long, that when I came back and I started talking to her, it felt like she was finally at peace. It's hard to explain, but it's true. Because she seemed very tense and like she kind of lost hope, like sad. But when I finally did make the trip and talk to her, she started crying. And like I said, the doctors were all surprised because she wouldn't respond to anybody. But she responded to me and she recognized me. And the first time I spoke to her, she was moving and she seemed like she was excited. She seemed like she was finally at peace when I was there. And I would tell her that I was there, and I was taking care of my brothers, and we were waiting for her to come home. For whatever reason it was, because I know she was struggling, and I know she's finally resting in peace now. But I feel like she left comfortable knowing that my brothers are going to be left in good hands, because I know she was worried about them, because I wanted the music career so bad. But I think she left comfortable knowing, she let go, knowing that my two younger brothers were going to be taken care of and they were going to be fine, and I was ready to take over. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but in a weird way, I kind of felt that's what happened. She was finally ready to let go and rest in peace. I think she was in there like for a week. Well, I'm lying, she was in there a week before I found out. And then when I went, yeah, she was in there like for an extra week or two, I believe. She was in there pretty long, because she spent like 1 week at the community one and then like another at the larger hospital. And that's when she finally passed away. It was hard at first because I was only 22 years old when that all happened. You know, it was hard because obviously I was 22 years old. I was single. I didn't have to worry about no one but myself. Whatever decisions I made would affect me only. So when that happened, it just like from 1 minute to the next, it was just I had all these responsibilities because I decided to take in my brothers and take care of them. It was hard. It was hard at first, but in a sense it kind of wasn't, because it was something I kind of always knew, in a weird way, I was kind of prepared for it. My mom always prepared me for it. She would always tell me, I'm not going to be here forever, and you should never depend on anybody but yourself. And she always drilled that into my head since I was a kid. And she showed me to be independent and strong and responsible. And sure enough, now as an adult, I see why she raised me the way she did, because she did raise me with tough love. And I'm glad she did, because when it happened, a lot of people thought, oh, he's too young, he's 22 years old. He doesn't know anything about life, he's not gonna be able to do it, and proved them wrong. I was prepared, and it was hard, but it wasn't, I don't believe it was as hard as it could have been if I would not have been that prepared, if that makes any sense.
Now that his mom passed away, has he changed?
He stepped up to the plate like he had to. You know, he adopted his little brother. You know, he's taking care of his older brother and pretty much done all that he's, you know, been expected to do.
I knew that was a tough time. You know, I told him if he needed anything, even though I was out there, I'd try to help in any ways. Or anything, because I know that's real hard.
And you found out how?
I just kept in touch. You know, whether it was music or just what he was up to. You know, just checking up to see what was good. You know, because he told me he was busy. He's in the hospital. You know, telling me about his mom and you know how she was in and out. And then you know, it was a concern of mine too. You know, so
basically the same thing, but I'm working in the studio, different artists, different genres. I'm working on albums, trying to stay consistent. There's a lot to learn. Yeah, I'm Busy Bone Thugs and Harmony. It'll be Roscoe from Dog Pound, Badass from Dog Pound, Daz Dillinger from Dog Pound, Sandog from Cypress Hill. A lot of Chicano artists as well. One of the new ones recently has been Chingo Bling. He's kind of an old school legend. A lot, really. Man, there's no greater feeling. I'm actually blessed that I was able to accomplish that a lot sooner than most artists. It's just no greater feeling. That's how I know I want to be an artist. I love getting on stage. I love the vibe, because you feed off of the audience basically. So it's like one big old party. The audience is partying with you, having a great time. You're talking to them, the way they respond to you, like it's just the energy, the vibe. Like it's unexplainable. You just got to be there and witness it to know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's great, pretty big shows with thousands of people. I mean, it's been a great experience so far. I'm blessed, and I know it's just the beginning. I'm still young, so let's see where else it goes. Right now, I have a great feeling. I'm working on a new solo album, probably work on another album, with stay consistent, and we'll see. You just never know. Right now, in the music industry more than ever, Latinos are starting to make it, or Mexicans are starting to make it more. The doors are open a little more. I feel there's a good chance right now because a lot of people really like the music, and we'll just see where it goes. You never know. My next goal is to headline a show. I want to be able to headline a show to where I'm the headliner and there's other acts put on as opening acts, but obviously I'm the headliner and I'll be able to sell the show out. So that's the next goal. Because, well, I've already been a part of big shows and I've been blessed to be on them, but now I want to know what it feels like to be the headliner. When it's meant to happen, it'll happen. I know it will. Right now, for whatever reason it has to happen, whether I'm not ready, whatever the reason is, but I know when it'll happen, when the day comes, it'll be the right time.
There has to be something that you did with them for him to come out so good, and coming from Alvaro.
Well, what happened is, you have to. I've tried my best with him, and I don't tell him verbally. I've showed him with the way I am. You start something, you finish it. You know, the life is very simple. We make it hard. So I think I've been a model, a role model for him. I tell him, even right today, I tell him, look at me. Stuck to a machine every other day, and I'm still a responsible person. I'm going to be a responsible person till the end. You know, just because I'm sick doesn't mean I don't pay rent, I don't pay bills, I don't finish my tasks. And that's what I've shown him. Not just verbally, but I do it. And I've been a role model for him. And for my other boys, too.
24/7, there's people out there like tweakers, and you're not safe during the day nor during the night. You really got to watch it. Yeah, it's real bad. And especially in East LA. Like, in East LA, the streets are a little smaller and darker. So it's a little crazier there than, like, where I stay at now, Boyle Heights. Boyle Heights is still pretty bad because I stay, like, right in the borderline between East LA and Boyle Heights. But, yeah, either or, you gotta watch it. But in East LA, yeah, you really gotta watch it. Those dudes are out 24/7, roaming on bikes, cars, anything, walking, you name it. They're out. Yeah, my homeboy, Clowner, rest in peace. It's actually one of my closest and best friends, I could say. It's actually a funny story because we were in the same class together, and it was funny. For some reason, we kind of didn't get along. He didn't like me because according to him, I was conceited. But yeah, I would catch him staring at me sometimes, and I'd be like, what the hell is this fool trying to look at? And one day, we ended up sitting next to each other, and we started talking, and we actually started getting along, and we started hanging around a lot. And he was just like a cool dude. He grew up in the projects. He was from Estrada Court to be in New Projects. He wasn't from the neighborhood, but he grew up there, and that's where he lived. And yeah, we started kicking it a lot more. Ended up becoming real close homies. At the time, that's when I was repping my crew, where I came from Griffith. Got him involved. He stood with it to the point even where I kind of got pushed away from all that because of my lady at the time. He pretty much branched off and like started his own and kept at it. And he was on and off between Watts and Boyle Heights because he had a sister that lived out there, and he had a nephew. And yeah, he kept at it. He ended up getting into the neighborhood in Watts, and I mean, he was putting in his work. And sadly, they got him at a liquor store and they emptied a whole clip on him. And it was actually messed up because besides him, another close homeboy of mine who was Lesnar, and it was the three of us who were real close. And we all kind of even though me and Clowner kind of like lost touch for a while because he was kind of mad over the whole me wifing it thing for some reason, me and Lesnar always kept in touch. And he's my homeboy that I always go visit in Paris out there in the IE. And it was funny because my homeboy Lesnar was supposed to be with him that day, but for some reason his lady didn't let him go. His lady at the time didn't let him go because for whatever reason. If not, it would have been both of them that would have had the whole clip emptied on them, and that would have sucked because they were both truly like one of the only truly guys I could truly trust. And I know would always be there for me no matter what, just like I was always there for them and still am, no matter what to this day. Yeah, but sadly, it was Clowner's time to go. I think over 30, they emptied a whole AK clip on him. He had bullets everywhere. Yes, I did. I went to his awakening because he didn't have a funeral. He was Salvadorian, so his mother wanted to take him back to Salvador and bury him over there, so we only got to see awakening over here. And he had another awakening over there, and he was buried in El Salvador. So I only got to attend his awakening, and ever since then I still keep in touch with his mom to this day though. Still talk, still keep in touch, see how she's doing from time to time. It was open in the face. Luckily, you can only notice a little something. They cleaned him up pretty good. Luckily, you could only notice something on his cheek and his neck. They actually blew off the tattoo on his neck. Yeah, they just closed the skin and you couldn't even see his tat anymore. But I mean, just by looking at him, like, you could tell that he was messed with a little bit. But like, you couldn't really see the body because he was in a suit, but from the face, he only had a few minor things that were noticeable at least. Yeah, he's always liked it over there. He always used to talk about it. Kept saying he was gonna go, who never took him serious, but he finally ended up really going, and he stood over there. I don't even know, because to be honest, we kind of lost touch for, I would say, 2-3 years, really. That we kind of lost touch and kind of stopped talking because of that whole incident. Besides that, he was busy with his own thing, and he was wifing it in a sense, but he was still doing like whatever he wanted on the side. And that I know he used to still live out here in Boyle Heights. Used to stay with her, but then after that I heard he got his own spot. I really don't know exactly how long he's been out, but he was long enough. He was out there long enough to get into the neighborhood out there, so yeah, he must have been out there for a while. But I know no matter what, he was like back and forth a lot because he would always be at his sister's. He was my age. He would be my age right now. He would be 21. I believe he just turned 20. He got shot 2 days after his 20th birthday. He got killed. At the time, Jasper was at my house, as a matter of fact. I forgot what, we were working on something, or we were talking about something. All of a sudden, I got a phone call from my mom. I didn't get her answered, and she left a voicemail. I listened to it, and It was basically her letting me know that Osman was killed and to call her as soon as possible. Called her and I couldn't believe it. I was like one of the first ones to know because his mom and my mom were actually kind of close and they kind of worked together for a while. So they kept in touch a lot, and during that time is when they would see each other a lot at work. Yeah, so basically I was the first to know, and I ended up calling a few people and she called a few people and let everyone know. That same night that my mom told me, his mom didn't actually want anyone to know, but it was just felt bad. Regardless, I ended up calling the other friends. I let them know. They couldn't believe it either. Like Lesson drove from Paris that same day. Like he came straight out here to LA and we all met up and we all went to his mom's and we paid our respects to her and just talking about the old times, and just when we found out about the awakening and all that, she pretty much broke down the story for us. Surprisingly, she was calm when we first walked in. But from what we were told is that she was getting real bad to the point where she couldn't be left alone, so they kept giving her medication to calm her down. Yeah, surprisingly she was calm, like she was acting like nothing happened when we walked in. But then we pretty much couldn't take it and like tears started coming out and she knew we knew. And that's when we pretty much told her we were sorry about it, and that's when she started breaking down and crying and saying her baby wasn't coming home anymore, she wasn't going to see him anymore. That's when she started crying. But even throughout the awakening, she was crying. But she was still somewhat calm, but I believe that's because they were watching her and because of the medication. But I think she was like real bad. I don't really think the medication let her like really express her emotions like she wanted to. When I met the dude, he wasn't into it. He never really... See, the thing about him too is like he kept a lot to himself. He was one of those that like wouldn't say anything. But I mean, he trusted me to the point where he would have told me some. Like, he used to tell me a lot, practically everything. And he never really mentioned anything about being an old crew or any of that. Ever showed any signs of being a body. He was just a normal dude. And he ended up getting into my crew, and he started getting into it. He was like going all out with it, like really all out with it, going riding, bombing, like non-stop, like normal things that, you know, any rider would have done at the time. And like he took it serious and really kept on with it to the point where he was mad when I pretty much stopped putting in work. He just kept with it and it escalated, and he ended up getting into a neighborhood. He got into Watts, Village Boys, and yeah, pretty much he kept with it, ended up banging. It was bad, like it was bothering me during the day. I couldn't really believe it, but at night I couldn't sleep. It really bothered me. I really felt responsible for what happened. I really felt like, I mean, who knows, maybe he could have been in it or been into it behind, or he was curious or something, but at least from what I know and from everything I remember, I did feel responsible because he did get into it because of me and because of my crew and all that, and we used to like do a lot of shit together. So I felt 100% responsible, and I couldn't get it out of my head for that whole night. I couldn't sleep. I was up. Yeah, at the time my lady had to calm me down, but it bothered me a lot that night. And no matter what, still be there and still got nothing but love for him. He was like my brother. He was kind of into rapping too. He used to, he used to write little poems and stuff and like little raps. I really wish he could have been right here next to me, and you know what I mean? It would have been us getting interviewed or something, or, you know, I could have brought him into the game with me, you know. All he could do is look now, and I just hope he's proud, because that could have been us. That could have been him too. I don't know the exact full story, but from what I was told, the murderer's son was killed like a week or two before that. And he thought my homeboy's the one who killed his son. And he ended up emptying the whole clip, and supposedly by the time, because they just started shooting when he was walking out the store, and they just started shooting. And he started running, but the bullets got him right away that he fell to the floor. He fell face first. And he just ran up to him and emptied out the whole clip throughout his whole body. Supposedly, even it was all caught on camera. The store got it. Supposedly that the dude made a surprise face like, oh, wrong dude, and he just took off. And I know even when it came down to his trial, the dude never showed up because he was acting like he was sick while he was locked up or whatever. But the excuse, from what I was told, from what his mom said, is that he thought my homeboy's the one who killed his son, and that was really his excuse. I still don't know to this day. I haven't seen his mom because his mom took off to Salvador for a bit. Should be coming back, but I should be finding that out soon. Oh, well, I think every day when I used to roll to school when I was going to Sunset, when I would look at the bus stop from the projects, I mean, it would remind me, all the crazy times we had, times we used to get chased. Yeah, that would be it, really. I mean, that dude was everywhere, walking in on the bus. I don't know how, but he got around. I wouldn't say it was like a great influence, but like he was one of the ones that, like, at the time when I did want to do it, but I didn't have the courage to come out of the shell and like do it in front of people or let people know I wanted to rap. But you could say, in a sense, he was in the beginning, because I mean, if it wasn't for him, like, I would have not really had anyone to write with, or like, you know what I mean, spit little flows to, get critiqued, because I didn't really like trust anyone, like, to show him what I wrote and like, oh, what do you think of this? So in a sense, he's the one who like kind of helped me get a little more comfortable, like coming out of the shell, until eventually I really did come out of my shell. I just said, hey, I was gonna rap, and it's what I wanted to do. It's what I really like doing. And so in a sense, you could say he did take part in it in the beginning, first stages. Can't say completely, but I had my days when I would run away and I'd be gone like for a whole week, month. The longest I think I ever lasted gone was like a whole month, and I really was bouncing like from house to house, or I really was sleeping in parks or in 24-hour restaurants. So I wouldn't say I was completely homeless, but I did have my times when I would take off and I'd be on my own, and I was a dummy, no money, no nothing. Yeah, I don't know how you would want to take it, but technically I was homeless for a couple weeks at a time. A little bit, you could say that. Used to smoke a lot. Yeah, getting high on my homeboy Bugsy from White Fence, rest in peace. Yeah, I used to always be with him, and yeah, always smoking. Then I had another homeboy, Crazy Manny, and yeah, always smoking, to a point where I even hit some Peter one time, but never really ever tried messing with that again. I never really did anything like too crazy. I didn't really like going past weed or none of that. That's the only good thing about me. I think like people could have talked all the shit they want, but there's no way they could have peer pressured me. Like they could say whatever they want, but if I don't want to do it, I'm not gonna do it regardless of what's said. And thank God I never went further, because I look back and a lot of my homeboys are dead, homeless, like out on the street. Like, it makes me feel real bad. And sadly, I'm not in the best spot in the world. I'm way better than anyone that I basically grew up with or that I used to hang around with. You could say I'm in a better spot. And there's a couple few that did make it on to go to college, universities, and they're getting better careers and all that, which is a route I wish I could have hit too, but it's not really for me. So yeah, this is more me, so thank God for that. Yeah, I never got booked and like taken in. I mean, they have gotten me and tried to scare me and hold me inside like the little sheriff. They have like little cells in the sheriff station right there on 3rd Street, but never really anything serious. I mean, there's nothing they could really do. Caught me with spray cans and all that, like just try to scare me. Luckily, I've never been locked up, so I was blessed with that. But as far as doing time, that's the closest I've ever been to it, but that's about it, really.
And yes, he finished high school. Yes, and then he decided to go to music school. Something I don't understand, I don't know anything about, but I told him, mijo, if that's what you like, well, that's okay with me. I don't understand anything of what you're telling me, but you have a father who knows, because his father is a musician. So then I go, you have your father help you. And anything I need to do, I'll do too. And that's where he decided to go to Hollywood music school, recording school. And I helped him in the most that I can.
It was very important. I mean, I knew that's what I wanted to do, the whole music thing. It's the first time I actually wanted to be in school. I didn't want to leave. And that's rare. So it was very important to me, I'm glad I went to school for it. I wouldn't change it. It helped me out in my career and build a career as well, not only as an artist, but as a pro audio engineer. So I engineer a lot for people's favorite artists and mix down tracks. Hopefully start working on movies as well, post-production. So I'm pretty glad that I took school serious and it was important to me. I'm very glad I really did do that. Right now, you could say I intern / work with Dave Salas. Some people might know him, produces for a lot of big names. Great producer, great engineer. I work with him, and his father is Rudy Salas from Tierra. which is an old school known group. And yeah, basically I was blessed enough to get noticed by them, got picked up, and I'm actually working with them, help out on a lot of projects. So it's real great. We're in the studio as we speak, and we're in the booth right now.
And the most important thing that I tell him is don't ever forget where you come from. Even though you're going to go to that school, there's, you know, most of those kids are rich, millionaire kids. You're not. And don't let that, you know, hold you back. And don't be ashamed of you being poor. You make sure you tell him you're a poor Mexican. I tell him that. And yes, he finished it.
It's always been a comfortable vibe when I've been working with him. For the most part, he's always known what I've wanted and where I wanted to go when it came to the mixing side. The quality has always been there. It's just been the location. First location was the house, and then now he has a legitimate setup down the hall from David Sala's, you know, with a, you know, full-on booth, full-on control room and all that. He's the same dude. I mean, when I first met him, he was a real shy guy. You know, I had to show him the ropes on the road when, you know, he was doing the artist thing. But as far as everything else, he's the same guy. Same, you know, if I don't got it, he's got it. If he doesn't have it, I got it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Honestly, he's probably one of my closest friends. You know, he's been there for me when you know I really needed, you know, serious favors. You know, and the same on mine. I've been there when he's needed stuff.
Definitely, yeah. You know, from the start, when I heard his mixing, also his vocals as a rapper himself, you know, from when I first heard it to the way it got now, I just saw progression, you know, and then the album, you know, that's coming out, I thought it sounds real nice, you know. Some tracks he just killed, and I learned a lot from him, you know. Even just this weekend here, I learned a lot of knowledge, you know. Mixing the beat, you know, and all that, you know, he helped a lot. Just seeing how he works in the studio, you know, it was all some good stuff. You know. Makes it just feel complete, you know. The beat's there, the rappers who gives it, you know, makes the song complete, you know. Every time I hear any artist rap or sing over my beat, I always want to hear it, you know, because I look at every single song that was made that had my beat in it, you know. I take them all personally, you know. So it just sounds real nice every time I hear a new artist on my beat, or even the same artist but just on a different song, you know. Every single song, it just sounds dope. Because I remember my first project to, you know, how it has progressed till now. So the way I see it now, it's like, damn. No, man, it's crazy till this day. I was flipping out, like it was funny because I was actually playing that beat, you know, before this whole project, you know, you told me this whole project, I was actually playing that, and I trip out to this day. That's Busy Bone, you know, it's just, and Lil Flip, you know, it's crazy. And Daz, and then the list just goes on, you know. Oh man, those Busy Bone is the one that I just go crazy over, you know.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm very proud of my son. And I hope he does make it. I don't understand his music, you know, his lyrics and all that stuff, but, you know, I said, I'm very proud of you, puppy. Yes.
Well, look, you're going to be the one to do all that. I'm going to kick it off. We're each going to soak that in, but you're going to full-blown set the ones that, yeah, you know what's what, Dick. So, come on. Don't act Mr. Shy. Yeah. So, no, June 14th, June 15th. Okay, no, it's not. This is just a practice. Yeah. You know, I have an idea. Already. Just record. Okay. What's cracking? It's your boy Jasper Loco from that 213 gang. Poster right here with my homeboy. You already know who it is. We just finished collaborating with a bunch of artists that you guys already know about. From Badass to Sly Boogie to Roscoe, Sin Dog, Cocaine, all kinds of just different hand that you guys been bumping for a cool minute. You fellas from right here, from LA, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic to my boy.
The first 100 are going to get them personally autographed by myself and Jasper. Just about everywhere online. We're going to hit all the moms and pop shops, Swapmeet. So as soon as we get those listings, we'll put up the info on that. All the updates are either going to be on the website, and you'll have all the info from all the moms and pop shops there, and everywhere else they'll be able to get it at. What's up, world? It's your boy Son. Right here, let you guys know about my new album, Mind's Beats, dropping in May, featuring some of your favorite artists like Zigzag of the MB Riders, Brown Boy, Little Cohete, Night Owl, my homeboy Cohete Yesca, Campo, Jasper Campo, my boy LR Living Real. I got production from some great producers, Varun. I got 9 Diamond, HD Flat. Available everywhere in May, but you could pre-order at .com. And while you're there, you might as well check out the merchandise. We got with the homies, Jasper and Campo. You could have posters, and we have more merchandise coming soon. Also, we got news coming, we got music videos coming, Monday, Sunday music videos coming, Witches is coming. Those 2 tracks are off of those. If you haven't copped that, make sure to go cop it. And more music videos coming as well for my new album, so stay posted, check in every little while to check what's new on the website. Pretty sure you'll find something interesting. Mind's Beats, like I said earlier, available everywhere in May, but be the first to bump it on your block. Go to www.com and you can pre-order it right there. You can pre-order it now. Make sure to add me on all the social networks, on etc. It's space Facebook and Twitter is /323. That's 323. Again, before I let you go, Mind's Beats available everywhere in May, available for pre-order at .com right now. But before I let you go into the snippets of the album, make sure to check out the singles featuring Brown Boy, Roscoe DPG, and Rigo Luna. Also featuring Little Cohete, Feisty Campo, and David Wade.
When's the mixtape coming out?
Hopefully May. Hi. Santo Louis, so cool.
How's it coming along, babe?
You want to come and see it? Has your life been like a movie?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
And now me, I'm sick. I have kidney failure. I need a kidney. So the past 3 years, he's been up and down with me with doctor appointments and everything. And he's been there for me. And I'm very proud of him. I'm glad that he's the way he is.
Diabetes runs real bad in my family. Just about it. Like my grandmother, my uncles, everyone pretty much hits dialysis at one point, and they all get diabetes. Believe it or not, I'm still the only one that hasn't got diabetes at a young age. My cousins have gotten it as early as 11, 12. Like no one's really not gotten it by 13. It runs real bad. And especially me having it bad on my mother's side. It's real bad on my mother's side, and it's somewhat bad on my father's side. But luckily, I don't know how I still haven't gotten it. Thank God to this day. I know it's gonna get me. I know it's bound to get me one day, like the doctors say, but the more I could delay it, the better. Yeah, so basically, my mom had it real bad, and she didn't take care of herself. She would pop sodas like crazy, and she took it as a joke. Her sugar was always high. I would tell her, she would always say if she were to die, at least she's gonna die happy and comfortably eating whatever she wanted or drinking whatever she wanted. She never drank or smoked, at least that I've seen her. From what I've heard, she never has, but she was a sodaholic. Yeah, one day it got real bad to the point where her body started malfunctioning and she was getting a little slower, and her kidneys completely stopped. And she hit the hospital and she was real bad. If she would have waited like a few days more, she would have died. She would have just died in her sleep. She would have just gone into a diabetic coma. So luckily, I took her to the hospital on time, and she was in there for a while. And I was working at the Lorena pharmacy right there in Boyle Heights on Waiter and Lorena. And I had to let go of that job to well, take care of my brothers because my mom was in the hospital. And my stepdad really well. That's when my mom and my stepdad were separated. So we were alone, and it was basically all up to me. I was running around, paying all the bills, paying the mortgages, handling stuff for my mom's clients, buying all the groceries, basically playing mom for a whole month and a half, 2 months, until she finally came out. Thank God things got better. I used to take her to her appointments. Like, she had appointments like 3 days a week, and I would take her every day, and it would be hours. I'd be right there pushing her up and down with the wheelchair, and little by little her appointments started getting less and less, and she lasted a whole year. They actually saved her kidney, but after a year, I guess it just completely malfunctioned, and that's when she had to go on dialysis. So now my mom's on dialysis, and like, she looks a little bit darker. She's like, I don't know, now she's finally starting to take it a little more serious. Not as much, still slacks off a little, but I mean, she got a reality check finally, and it's 3 days a week. She used to get it at nighttime, but now she gets it in the morning because she works. So it's from 5 in the morning, I believe, to like 8:30. She gets it 3 days out of the week. She'll get it Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
No, who's coming? I'm not home.
Knock, knock.
¿Y eso sí sabe? No, esto es de juguete, creo.
No, that's the real one.
Look at. No, eso no sale. No estoy. ¿Dónde está? Acá estoy, que me están grabando.
Ay, ¿y ahora qué pasó?
Pues ya que soy movie star. Nomás soy la mamá más famosa de...
Está bien, Shelly, pero...
¿Cómo se llaman? De los rappers, ¿cómo le dicen? Oh, you did.
Oh, yeah.
He did it. You should say thank you.
Wait, which one? Which one
Say
was the
thank
mom?
you, Daddy.
Which one was it? Let me take a picture of you.
No.
She became a mom earlier.
You gonna take pictures? Well, come here. Baby. Oh, you know Arath wants to come out.
No. I don't want to. I want no one to see me.
You know you do.
No. I don't like being real.
Yeah, that's why in JoJo's party he started dancing
I
and
know,
trying
I
to get
just-
center of attention.
I like dancing.
Hey, you should be proud of your brother. You should be proud of your older brother too.
You like dancing?
It's because she go dancing with the stars. Don't tell.
Where he needs a little more effort is on being a daddy. You know, he lets mommy, grandma do the things for him, but otherwise he's good.
January 22nd, 2 years ago, I was in the emergency room waiting for my son to be born. When he popped out, couldn't stop crying. It's like the most emotional, like best feeling I could ever explain. But I could honestly say that is like the day my life has truly changed and made me want to go a lot harder and really take everything a whole lot more serious. January 22nd is truly a day you could really mark down that has truly changed my life. The day my son was born, little Junior. JoJo, Daddy loves you. Believe it or not, he does. He asks for me a lot. It's always papi, always asking for papi. It's funny because his mom will call me up and he's crying in the background saying, I want to go papi, I want to go papi. He loves coming over with me and like I play Xbox and he knows I play Call of Duty Black Ops. So he said, I want to play zombies, and he gets his remote and thinks he's all cool because he got his own remote and he plays zombies with me. Yeah, it's actually real cool. He loves me. He always wants to do everything with me. So real blessed to know that my son loves me, and I think another part that has to do with it too is because I show him that I love him and that no matter what, I'll drop anything to go spend time with him. So luckily to this day, relationship's great. I hope it gets better as we get older. You know what I mean? Hope he comes into the music industry as well. But it's really whatever he wants to be. And yeah, I could only see as time goes on. when he gets older and he starts talking back, as it is, he kind of is already. He already knows some little things that he shouldn't be doing. He does it on purpose to get me mad, and then after he apologizes. It's funny, he talks a lot for being 2 though. But yeah, so far so good, and hopefully it's just even better. He might, because his mother really likes the music industry as well. And it's crazy because, not for nothing, but even when he plays a drum set, it's like you could kind of tell there's something about him naturally when it comes to that. And he's not just like banging the drums like crazy like any normal little kid. Like, it's crazy because it looks like he's actually trying to do a rhythm. As you see in the video clip that I sent you over, he got his mom's hairbrush and he grabbed it as a microphone and he started doing his little raps. And he did it with the swag and everything, like he was a little rapper, as you saw. So I don't know, hopefully if he really wants to come out in the industry, I would be more than happy to show him the way, show him the good and wrong, how to do everything properly. And I think it'd be great bringing out my son, hopefully. But if not, I mean, I gotta respect whatever he wants to be, whatever he loves, whatever he wants to do. But I really think it'd be cool if you'd, it'd be great to go on tour with my son and share the same industry. So we'll only be able to tell as time goes on. But when he gets older, we'll see. You might see little Siphon soon. I would say that I'm a little more in his life. I mean, don't know. I know no matter what my father looked for me. But like I said, like sometimes he also did push me away when I tried going. So far, I've been blessed enough to really be in my son's life. He really loves me. He's only 2 years old, but hopefully as time goes on and he gets older, we could continue the same relationship. Only time would be able to tell. But for now, I would say is that I get to spend more time with him, which is an advantage. I get to show him more love. Truthfully, in a sense, the way I was shown love, and you could ask anyone, including my baby's mom, is I don't really show emotion because I wasn't really shown love. So I don't show emotion, and I truly don't know how to show love back as I was told or been told. I would say is that I'm showing my son love. You know, maybe my parents did show love, tough love, all different way. Everyone has their different ways, but I'm actually trying to show my son a little more, you know what I mean? I would say that would be the biggest difference. Yeah, and I would never tell him he was a mistake or that I couldn't make it because, yeah, I had to pay child support for him or any of that. So I would say those would be the biggest differences, really. I would support him no matter what, do what I can, even when he's past 18, no matter what, he's my son. So never ending jobs till my last breath, really. I got someone to look after no matter what, make sure he's doing right and he's going through the right path. And you could truthfully say that it's the first time actually I could say that I experienced the whole like having father-son moment and like the whole like knowing how really loving something. So it really is the first time for me, and I love it. That's a 50-50. I do and I don't. I do because I don't want him going through the same thing that I was going through, even though his era is changing, as it is a new era right now. Like the gang banging and the whole tagging thing is kind of out of style, and my era was hardcore gang banging and being into the crew, being a badass. It was hardcore into it. Right now it's all about raves and those weird little dance moves, running away from cockroaches, whatever they do. But yeah, who knows? But I mean, even this era right now, they're like using worse drugs. At least back then for us, it was just smoking, you know what I mean? And right now it seems like they're popping e-pills, mushrooms. They're doing even like, in a sense, a little bit worse, but it's kind of the same thing. But no matter what, the way I see it, if my son wants to learn, he's gonna learn no matter where he's at, whether he's in the hood or whether he's in a private school or wherever. If he wants to learn, he's gonna get an education no matter where he's at. And I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind living outside of East LA, Ball Heights, like in a nicer area, in a bigger house, you know what I mean? Giving him what I didn't have, you know what I mean? Just no matter what, I don't want him to be one of those spoiled little annoying brats. So I'm gonna make sure that he has to earn everything, that's for sure. So technically, to answer that question, I think I would, but I always show love to the hood, I always come back. I mean, I show love to the hood and they always show love to me, I could always come back. So that's the good thing.
What do you want for him and his son now?
I want him to meet his goals, to be whatever he wants to be. I hope he makes it how he wants to make it. And I hope that he's a good father to his son, and to always remember that he has a son and family comes first. And that's what I want. I want him to make it. If he wants to be a singer, that's good. It's fine with me. I'm happy for him. Yes. I want to see his son and him be together, grow up together. Because my son's still young. My son's only 22. Yes.
You want to go see?
There's Daddy and JoJo.
Another one, another one?
There's JoJo. He looks so handsome. Who's that? Is that Grandma?
Huh?
There's a paper. Is it up to put that one?
Oh, it's right there.
Oh, so sweet. Mommy, huh? Look it. I'm gonna take some more cool pictures like this, okay?
No. I gotta do it still.
Why don't you listen to me? I'm the mama for him.
I do listen.
Yeah. That's Daddy outside. See? You wanna take some pictures of you like that?
Want to take pictures, Mom?
Yeah. You wanna take pictures like that?
Let's picture it too. Take us when I was pregnant from you.
Can you turn them around now?
Huh?
Can you turn them around?
Just playing with the phone.
Look, JoJo.
Oh, look it. Look it.
Say hi.
Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. He's looking at himself in the camera now.
Who's that boy right there? Who's that handsome boy, huh? JoJo.
Take it, JoJo.
JoJo? Who's that?
You, JoJo, huh? Where's that? Where's Poppy at? Right there. Aww. Oh, you're so flirtatious.
Israel was about 4 years old, and I knew my son was different. Because the way I found out was because I took him to school, to pre-kinder, and that first day they called me. He was already in the principal's office. He bit the teacher. So, and that's how, I didn't know he was mentally disabled, but I went to the doctor. Then the doctor referred me to another doctor. And that's how I found out my son was mentally disabled. Because physically he's okay. He looks normal. It's just mentally.
I have an older brother who is 7 years older than me. He's mentally disabled. So since I was a kid, I helped take care of him. To this day, I still do, because he's like a little kid, very fun. He has a mind of a 4-year-old, and he can't really like grow anything past that. He's gonna stay like that for the rest of his life. So it's like a little kid. He still loves wrestling. Always puts on the old school wrestling with Bret Hart and all that, Stone Cold, the video cassettes. He loves all the little kid shows. He loves playing. He loves playing with my son. Yeah, he loves it when my son comes over. He likes having conversations with adults, like if he's an adult himself. Yeah, but he's always happy. Wish I could be like him, always happy. So that's something I bet a lot of us wish we could really feel like. He's always in a good mood, no matter the situation. He's always happy, which is great. He's in his own little world. He's a mama's boy, and my mom, of course, loves him too. So yeah, they're pretty close. Fun and happy person. Makes me sad because he's mentally disabled, and to know he'll never, you only get one life, and it's kind of sad to know that he's not gonna get to live it or experience it like we do. But in a sense, I'm happy because he's in his own little world and he's always in a happy mood. I don't know how he does it, but he's always happy, and I wish we could be like that, stress-free, all happy. Only know how he feels, so he beats us in that sense. But yeah, it was pretty hard because even though he's my older brother, I never really technically had an older brother. I was always kind of the older brother because even when I was younger, I used to play with him. Eventually, I grew up, I outgrew him mentally. I had to help take care of him, so to this day, I still help my mom with them. He's very family oriented. He loves being with my mom. He loves being with me or with my little brother. He doesn't really like being alone, but he's really close to my mom as well. So no matter what, I feel blessed to have him as my brother. You know what I mean? Could honestly say that, you know what I mean? Another reason why I could say I appreciate and enjoy life, because not too many people who have someone that close to them, special, like that, really like wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, you kind of see things in a different perspective when you have someone really close to you like that, and like certain things ain't funny, and you take things a little more serious and you learn to appreciate a lot more, really.
Oh, he looks so cute. He was so little here. Aww.
Do you remember when he was little?
I'm not.
Yeah.
Give me food all the time.
Oh, real?
Always nice boy.
Over.
I always carry him, always.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, you carry his boy?
I carry his boy too.
Yeah.
That's no grandma. This piece.
Oh, your grandma?
Yeah. That's no grandma.
Do you remember her? Yeah.
She passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry. Long time ago, or?
And that one.
Yeah.
That's her house here.
Oh, this was her house here? Yeah?
That's actually my mom. Right.
Your mom? Oh, okay.
That's me.
Oh, that's you.
That's my grandma.
Wow.
How's it going? How's it going?
Oh, your grandma. Everyone.
That's me.
That's you and Jay with the little car, huh? I love that little car. It's so
Can you
cute.
stand next to him?
That's me, the pool.
And now I'm proud of him. I'm going to be honest to you. I'm very proud of Jay, not because my son finished his career or went to school or now he's, in the music business. I'm proud of him as a human being because the background that he has from the family that he comes from, he understands that you have to put extra effort in everything. And he does. He has to put extra effort because he has a mentally disabled brother who's older than him, but in a way is younger than him. Then I made a decision 12 years ago to adopt my nephew, which also has special needs.
I also have my little cousin who we adopted since he was 6 months old. And he's like my brother because we had him since he was 6 months old. Been helping take care of him as well, change his diapers, babysit him to this day, helping him with his homework now that he's in middle school, making sure that he does right. My younger brother is really my cousin, my aunt's son, but she was a heroin addict, crack addict, still using while she was pregnant, sadly. They ended up taking away my cousin from her, or my little brother actually. When he was 6 months old, she was caught robbing a market local. She was all high, she was running out with them, she dropped them, the cops took him away. His father, also an addict and always in and out of prison, jail. So he couldn't take responsibility, so they turned to the most trustworthy family member, which was my mom, because my mom doesn't drink, smoke, have a record. She's the only one who really has her stuff together, very independent. So they called her and they asked her if she wanted to get him. She said yes. She ran over there. She picked him up from the police station. So we had him since he was 6 months old. So I would help my mom take care of him. Well, my dad mainly did it, but so did I. Help take care of him and help change his diapers and all that. To this day still, he's in middle school right now with his work. He has ADHD, he's hyper. He's thinking of like 5-10 things at once, which is no joke. Doesn't really listen sometimes. I mean, he's a good little kid, but sometimes he doesn't like really listen or pay attention or put a lot of effort as much as he could. But I mean, overall, he's not that bad. I mean, for what you would expect from a crack or heroin addict, he's really not. So we're blessed that he came out like good as well. And I think a lot has to do with this, the way my mom raised him. My mom she was a lot tougher on him and all that, and she refused to give him to make him like a zombie. She hates it. She believes the weight of parenting, well, it's her job as a mother to help him without the medication as well, so she tries to give him a minimum. She hardly even gives it to him. I think that had a lot to do with it too. So it's just the way my mom raised him, really. But it's basically the story of my little brother. Then after my parents are separated, my mother and father, so from my father's side, I have a step brother and a step sister. They're both younger than me, and I have a stepmother too, of course. And they're doing really well as well. They love me a lot. They always look for me, so that's good.
To me, I wouldn't say as a father, but I would say as a big brother, even though being smaller, because Jay is 7 years younger. But Jay had to like be a big brother since the moment he was able to, to understand that his brother's special need. He has been the big brother. As of right now, we always say, oh, the kids. It's like he's the oldest, even though he's not. Yes. So Jay has a big load because my other son doesn't have no one else but Jay. So Jay knows that when I'm gone, he's gonna take all the responsibility. But I think he's ready. But I tell him too, if you're not able to, if you don't want to, because of your career, because of anything, you just let me know.
Yeah, don't film me.
That's my mom.
And you said you miss her?
Yeah, I miss her. That's you correct. Oh yeah. Can you read it? That's my mom. Big. And she big when she used to me. That's my dad.
Okay. And they got your mom these flowers.
Yeah.
You miss her?
I miss her. I miss her. This flowers for her. This too for her.
Oh, they got those for your mom. What do you miss?
I miss her.
Yeah.
Only her.
Only her.
Only her. I miss her.
What'd you like telling her?
I'm sorry, Mom.
You're sorry?
Yeah.
Why?
I feel bad for her.
Oh, okay.
I lost her. I feel her.
You dream? You told me you dreamt her last night, huh?
Yeah, I had a dream. I had a dream last night. That's big cheers. You man and say, I love you, Mom. I miss you, son. I behave to your brother. You don't know you're with me.
Oh, so she told you for you to behave? Did he tell you that? What? He dreamt your mom last night?
He always says that. I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh, for real? Like, what's he tell you?
Different things. It depends on his mood. Sometimes I have the things he says I don't believe. Because I'll be like, why are you crying? I don't know. And then he'll just be like, well, because I miss the baby. And then sometimes I'll say because of my mom. I think he's just going through a depression because of my mom.
Yeah. You told me you had a birthday recently.
Yeah, she had a birthday.
Oh, she had a birthday. It was your mom's birthday too? Oh, okay.
February.
When's your birthday?
September.
September?
September.
How old did you turn?
3.
You turned 3? No way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did Jay get you a cake?
No.
Jay. He's in trouble now.
Yeah. Yeah, Mama, before Mom passed away, she told me, I take you to dinner. Son, for your birthday.
Oh.
The next day, chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Got you sick. I got shot too. And my dad got shot too.
Uh-huh.
I don't know now. Reborn. She died.
Mm-hmm. So what day is your birthday in September?
September 31st.
Her birthday's September 31st and she passed away 29th?
She had me a little boy.
Uh-huh.
I was terrible.
Yeah.
Now I'm big.
Mm-hmm.
I see this picture. It's my fault.
You feel it's your fault? Why?
I feel bad. I don't know if it's pressure or her. Think about her.
Mm-hmm. So you feel you gave her pressure?
Love.
Mm-hmm. Love, yeah.
She always said, behave, son.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't mess her.
But it's good you behaved.
Yeah.
You listened, so that's good.
Yeah, she told me. And she always there for me.
Mm-hmm.
More important is her.
Yeah. But she's still with you in here? Do you feel her that she's with you in here?
Yeah, I feel good. People don't do you treat her like that. Because I like her very much. Still with me.
Yeah.
Still with me.
He was a very, I never had no problem with him when he was growing up, when he started elementary. Where I started to have a little bit of problem is when he went to what you call now middle school. And that's because he was in the age of now having a girlfriend, and the new friends. And also he had trouble because he didn't really like the middle school he was going to. He wanted to stay at another school. But we moved, I purchased this house, so we had to, go by the rules. His home address, the closest. And that's why I had a little problem with him. But otherwise, he's very good. He was very good. I would drive him to school and he would go out. I would rush and take him to school, be on time. And one day I just forgot that I was going to go to the market down the street from his school. So I turned back. I made a U-turn. Well, as I make a U-turn, he's walking out of the school, and I come, Jay, where are you going? I'm going to go have breakfast. I go, no, you go to school now. And he turned around, and he didn't finish regular high school. He had to go to adult school. But I've always taught him that you do things the right way the first time. So I made the decision of not sending him to another school. I said, well, you didn't finish high school the right way like everybody does. Well, now you're going to do it the hard way. And that's when his biological father, made the decision to put him in the adult school. And I said, okay, if you're going to take care of him and you're going to look after him and you're going to everything for him, go ahead. And yes, he did. His father, even though we're separated for a long time, we always have communication because of him.
I would say that it was more like because I was getting good grades. Sometimes even though I got good grades, my mom wasn't satisfied. She always wanted them to be straight A's. That wasn't mainly the reason, but also, because mainly the environment. Like, you grow up and that's when you get introduced to drugs more, and peer pressure starts coming along and other dudes, and after the other little dudes that are their brothers are from neighborhoods, so they're already like all banged out or trying to be like their brothers and all that. I was always a tall guy, and I've always been real quiet, but when I snap, but a lot of people don't know that. I have a wild side to me as well. I don't know, I guess they would take me as a nerd or whatever you want to call it, so they would try to come up to me and punk me, and they'd be super surprised when it was the other way around. And I don't know, I just became like a target, and I had to defend myself like often. And I guess you could say just took off from there, really. Then after also like walking home, like all the stuff, getting hit up, it was it's a mixture of everything, really. Just ended up happening. 6th grade on, it was all downhill. I mean, the beginning of 6th grade, I was doing pretty well, but it wasn't very long till things started changing. Yeah, basically, I went from elementary being sent to Magnet. When I went up to junior high, it was just all downhill. By the time I hit the 8th grade, completely downhill. It was once I hit Hollenbeck, that's it. It was over. I was a complete different person. And Roosevelt, forget it. Be lucky if I ever made it to first period. Right away, I hit a point to where I wasn't even making it to school anymore. Fights were insane because also the fact that I'm from East LA, the Garfield side, where it's like East LA realistically is majority is all Maravilla Greenlighters. So I grew up in the heart of Maravilla, which are Greenlighters. So being that I came from Griffith, going to Hollenbeck, there's nothing but Sureños over there. So being them knowing I was from that side, automatically assuming I was a Greenlighter. So it was pretty crazy because a lot of people tried fucking with me, and again, the whole getting into fights, the whole crew thing. Then after high school was even worse because all the neighborhoods are right there. Because like middle school, there's a few guys from the neighborhood, but high school is pretty much already where all the neighborhoods are at. There's at least like 4 or 5 different neighborhoods right there inside of school in different spots, so that's even crazier. And so it's basically going at it with the neighborhoods. I don't get along with a lot of the neighborhoods where I live at, really. Well, mainly the youngsters from my era. Yeah, it was just fighting, partying, drinking, smoking. That's all it was, really. I mean, everything was funny and fun back then, but now that I look back, it's like, damn, it really wasn't.
When Jay was born, did you feel that it was a blessing at that time, or was it like difficult situation?
Well, it was both. It was a blessing and difficult because it was a blessing for me to be able to have another child. But it was difficult because when I got pregnant from him, they told me that he was going to be mentally disabled. That my son was going to be disabled because my first son was disabled, mentally disabled. So they gave me the option of having an abortion, getting an abortion, or having him. And I made the decision to have him because like I told the nurse, well, if my son is also mentally disabled, it's for a reason and it's a blessing, and I'll just won't have no more kids. And I made the decision to have him. And I'm glad I did because when he went to school, they told me he was gifted. So, that even made it more blessing, and I was very happy and I was scared at the same time, but I'm glad I made the right decision to keep him. And there he is now.
My mother was pregnant. She was feeling the contractions. She went to a local hospital in East LA. It was really hurting her. The doctor, she went in, saw the doctor. The doctor said that it wasn't time yet for her to go back. So she did, and she felt real bad. And my aunt was with her at the time. And she drove her all the way to Compton to get a second opinion to the Martin Luther King Hospital. And she said that when she got there, that the doctor looked at her and told her that you're ready. And he walked her into the room and made her feel comfortable. And, well, I was born May 23rd, 1989. Martin Luther King Hospital in Compton or Watts, I don't know. There's a fight between the two. I don't know which one it was in. So that's the story behind that one. I probably would have been born in East LA, but I was born in Compton. Raised in East LA, though.
You know what? To be honest, even though they told me that from the beginning, I just looked at him, and to me, he was like normal. Because it's like I tell them, I'm not a doctor, I'm not nothing, but I'm a mother. So like when I saw my baby, he was doing things properly. So no, to me, he was fine. I said, no, he's okay. I looked up and told my husband, he's okay, don't worry, he's fine. Yes, it was soon, like in a month that I had him. Those 30 days that I had him and I would see my baby, I said, no, he's fine. And I always tell him, no matter what, you know what, Jay, I love you. Your father loves you. There's a lot of fathers out there who don't care, but your father cares for you. You know, and even though I have another relation, his father has always been there for him. And I think he's always going to be there for him.
Actions of my mother kind of confirmed that what my stepmother really told me was true. But yeah, according to my mom, my parents were in love and that I was planned. But from what I was told is that the only reason why my father got married to my mom was because he knocked her up and I came along. Yeah, so it was kind of awkward, but I mean, sadly to say, right now and especially in my era, it's not really a surprise. And I try really not to get let that get to my head. I don't really see it as a big issue because no matter what, I know my parents do love me. They just have a awkward way of showing it, but I know at the end they do love me and they do want the best for me. And mistake or not, I know they love me regardless, so shouldn't really matter. It's how I'm trying to take it mostly. It's how I took it when I found out. It was good. Of course, we had our little fights, arguments. I think a lot that had to do with it again is because my older brother was mentally disabled, so she didn't really get to go through normal situations that she would with a teenager and as like coming up to an adult. So it kind of, I guess I was like the first one really that she went stuff through, like being going through my little phases as a teenager, the attitude and growing up and her being a woman and raising 3 boys all by herself. Yeah, so I mean, I know no matter what, she loves me. She was super hard. I did well in school in the beginning. I was actually a gifted student. They wanted to transfer me to magnet schools. I don't know what happened. When I hit middle school, I just turned a little to the dark side, but that's when things started getting really complicated with my mom. Overall, I could say we've had a good relationship. Like, we have our fights, you know what I mean? But it's just normal. No, there's not no mother or son that don't disagree or have their fights or their moments at all. So at the end, no matter what, we love each other. She was real disappointed to the point where she gave up on me. So the house was getting rebuilt. She actually didn't want me to go to school. She said I wasn't doing shit with my life anyways. I might as well make myself useful and help save money on the house. So I basically did, but it hit to a point where it made me feel bad that they gave up on me like that, to not take me serious and not give a shit whether I go to school or do something with my life. Because basically that's the point where I hit. No, like that really did like make an impact and made me feel bad. And shortly after that is when I found out I was going to become a father. That's when my mom also hit the hospital and she was dying. And it was just like so many things hitting me at once. And luckily my mom made it out okay. I had to quit my job. I ended up staying home. I don't know, I felt like I wasn't doing anything, and I always loved music. I wanted to turn to music. Obviously, I was writing at the time. That's when I wrote My Life's Like a Movie with Stomper. I wanted to turn towards music, so that's when I heard about the Los Angeles Recording School. Wanted to take it more serious and took my ass to go get my GED. Luckily, I don't know how, but I passed. So as soon as I got my GED, I just right away took off to go enroll. Did what I had to do to get the financial aid. I went in. Luckily, that's when things started turning around for me. Things started getting better, I could say. Pretty much, again, a new me after high school. Started calming down, wasn't doing the stupid things anymore. Started taking things more serious, especially now that I have a son. It's a whole different mentality now. Basically, what happened from elementary to middle school to high school. I was 3 years old, I believe. Yeah, I was 3 when they separated. He was, I mean, looking back at it now, I mean, he did look for me, and sometimes, I hate to say it was my mom who didn't want to let him see me, but like sometimes too, like my father would push me away, and a lot of times I didn't like going with them because majority of the time he made me feel like shit. Like if I wasn't born, he would have made it, because like for everything, all I heard was excuse was, oh well, I wanted to do this and this with my life, but child support, it's not easy raising a kid, and like, yo, that was always his excuse. So it kind of like, I guess you could say it kind of fucked me up in the head, taking that in. That's something I will never tell my son, but yeah. That's basically our relationship, but you could say that it's good. I mean, I give him that. He looks for me. We have our fights, and no matter what, at the end, he always tries to help me. He wasn't happy at first, especially him being in a norteño band, because he pretty much went down the road of having dreams of making it in the music industry. He's made it to the point where he's gotten a phone call and he was supposed to be signed to a major band, and because of him being under a contract, it got screwed up for him. If not, he would have been blown up right now, because he was one of the best and well-respected drummers. I mean, I guess he chased a dream so long that they never really succeeded how they should have. I mean, they got signed to a major label. They got signed to, I believe, which is a big Latin label. Like Luis Miguel and a lot of big names are under that, or were at least. He just didn't see no money being in there. Like, he used to do shows. Yeah, he would make a little bit of money, but then from there on, like, he would blow it that same night on drinks or wherever he was at. So you were basically going out there for free. So like when he first found out that I was in the music industry, he was kind of disappointed. He didn't want me to go down that road. Like when I hit the studio, like he asks me like, how much money do you really make? And like, of course, when I went out to Arizona and all that, like he asked how much I make and all that. It's pretty negative about it in the beginning, but I know he was only trying to, I think he was trying to like tell me the mistakes he made, but he just approached it a little weird way. But that's how I took it. But he started being more supportive towards that and wanted to hear my music. He likes it. And he gives me props because he actually always wanted to sing, but he never had the courage to go get in front of a microphone and sing. And he's happy that I did, so in a sense, that makes me feel good. Again, in the beginning, he was kind of negative about it. Towards the end, yeah, he was cool with it. I mean, like he said, whatever makes me happy, and pretty much nothing you could say or do. I had my mindset on it. Still do to this day. He sees that I take it serious, so he's supportive now.
If I could go back on time, I would have never left his father, because I know deep down my son wanted his biological father by his side, and that's a mistake I made. And I always tell him that I know deep down he would have preferred to have his father by his side living with us, but like I tell him, no, nobody's perfect. And the way I've raised them, I wouldn't change it. I think I did the best that I could. There is no perfect parent, but I sure hell tried.
I appreciate this. I never expected that.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful.
He has a lot of them. I moved to like pictures. Did he show you the pictures?
Yeah, the pic. We're gonna shoot the picture right now. You missed. I'll show it to you at the house, but it's awesome. Yeah, it really is.
Oh yeah, he's on. See, his father's a musician, professional musician. He would be in a professional group right now. Mexican. So he likes music because of the dad and the grandpa. I like music, but I don't sing. I don't nothing. I just used to dance, but I can't dance no more. So yeah, that's why he likes music. Yeah, and his little boy too likes to do the drums. And I told him, let's take a video, but I don't know how to use these new cameras. Yeah, I'm really learning how to use this phone. Yeah, but he knows how to, yeah. He likes music. Yeah, there's more right there, but I can't see it. I don't know which ones are him. There's a lot of them.
What's
nice
is
you
that?
got those.
Yeah. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for your hard work.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Digo que hay más allí, pero quién sabe.
Con permiso.
Sí, pásale.
That's priceless, man. That's like.
It's gonna be the
yeah, like.
Shoot,
I'm looking
man.
at this stuff and I'm like, Jesus. And it's not embarrassing at all.
No, how? He's
I
a
mean,
baby.
yeah, like
Come
you
on.
don't control it, you know?
And he's seen that I'm not only a mother to him, I'm in some way a mother to my brothers. I come from a big family. I have 7, we're 7. And out of the 6 brothers that I have, they come to me. You know, they come to me for one reason or for another. They come to me. I don't know. I didn't only take care of my kids. Now I take care of my brother's kids. I have my sister's son. Soon as I take care of my brother's little girl, cries because she wants to sleep over. She wants to stay at Tia's. You know, and that's what they were telling me just last night. Oh, why do the little girl wants to cry and she wants to stay here with you? I said, well, because I show her that I love her, and you know, I mean, I love kids, even though I didn't have a lot of kids, because that's part of being responsible too. I told him if I wouldn't been a responsible mom, I would have 6, 7 kids. I only had 2 because it's hard. You know, kids you love forever, not until they're 18. And that's what I'm showing him. I go, look at me. I still care for you. I'll still be always after you until I'm gone.
Well, my cousin, unfortunately, rest in peace. He was always a good kid. We grew up together. That was my mom's prima hermana's son. So we were first cousins. We were close. We would always go over. They would always come over to the house. My mom and his mom were like sisters, and just recently, like 2-3 years ago, she passed away, and it pretty much hit my cousin's family hard because she was the one keeping them all together. Sadly, when she passed away, the house was kind of breaking apart on its own, and as it is, my cousin was doing pretty bad. He was in and out of juvie, spent most of his childhood in juvie on drugs, and when she passed away, got a little bit worse. He literally went to the point where my cousins were telling me that he was lost, and I would try to talk to him and help him because we haven't really talked much since the passing of my aunt, but he was in his own world. And unfortunately, Cinco de Mayo day, he felt that he had to take his own life, so he shot himself in the head, first in the heart, then in the head, and he was pronounced dead when the paramedics went. But when the paramedics took him, somehow they revived him, so he came back to life. But nobody knew. My family, no one from my family was there, and the funny thing was that the first one to get the call was my mom somehow, not even my uncle or my cousins, his sisters. So she got the call and she went over there right away. I wasn't around. I was actually pretty far at the time. But when she called me, I also came right away. I got there like at 1 in the morning, I think. My friend took me and he went with me. Yeah, it was sad to see him on the table. Actually, it was really messed up, because realistically, if you think about it, everyone at one point has thought about it, or at least most people have. And it's just like something not even funny to think about, just really witnessing it and lying there. It's like it's a whole different story when it's really done. And sadly, the doctors ran a test on him. He was brain dead. They wanted to make sure he was brain dead, so they ran a test on him again, and they confirmed that he was brain dead. He was gonna pass away no matter what. It was only a matter of time. So that's when my cousins decided to donate his organs to my mom and to my uncle, because they both are on dialysis and diabetes. It runs really heavy and bad in our family, so they want to try to donate it. Unfortunately, my mom was not compatible because she wasn't on the waiting list, and she hasn't gone through proper therapy or psychology for it or something like that. So the doctor messed up on that because she should have been on the list a long time ago. So they didn't give it to her. But my uncle was blessed. He got it. They did the surgery that same day. They just took it out of my cousin when they pulled the plug on him, because they had to pull the plug on him. And they took it out and put it in my uncle. The doctors were really surprised because they say he would have stood at least another 3 weeks in the hospital. The usual thing is he has to be another 3 days. After the surgery, 3 days, he had to be in intensive care to make sure. And usually the kidney or the transplant doesn't start working within till like 3 days later. They were surprised because after the operation, an hour or two later, the kidney kicked in and it started working. And he was getting up and he was walking. He recovered super fast to the point where they took him out of intensive care like literally the next day, and he got released within 3 days, which is really rare. He was the talk of the hospital. Everybody knew the story about my cousin committing suicide and him donating his organs and saving my uncle and the family being happy. And even though the other kidney was donated to somebody else who was on a waiting list because it wasn't compatible for my mom still, she was happy to see my uncle happy, get more life, because as it is, my uncle was always a loner. I was always really close to him too. He used to love me and my brothers, and he used to love having us over, but he was distant from my mom and everybody else for some reason. But now they're talking, and it kind of brought the family together, and it's getting better. And I mean, it was a blessing for at least my uncle to be put out of that, because he was going on his 10th year, and supposedly people on dialysis normally average to live only 10 years once they're on dialysis. If they're lucky, they could live up to 14. The most anyone's ever heard for someone live is 20 years. My uncle was already hitting his 10th year, so it put that on hold. And if he takes care of the kidney, it could last up to 14 years. So we're just praying that it does. I mean, everything was so well so far, and hopefully it stays that way. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not a joke seeing everybody around you when you're on the bed, intensive care, lying there like that. It's really not funny. Like, it's one thing when someone gets into a bad accident, sadly, like Jasper, but it's very different knowing that someone, sadly what happened with Jasper was an accident, and there's nothing that could have been done about that. But suicide is something that you could have prevented, and knowing that the fact of you being there lying like that could have been prevented makes it even sadder. Well, at least to me it does. And it's not funny. Like, it's one thing I know, like, it runs through your mind, like everyone. I've thought about it myself. But, like, thinking of yourself, thinking it and really doing it is just completely different. Like, I could never imagine me committing suicide and putting my family through it like that, especially knowing to see my son. None of that. It's not funny. Sorry. Just sucks because he was so young. When we were smaller, I used to take care of him. In middle school, I was in 8th grade and he was in 6th grade. He used to run up to me and let me know when someone was bullying him, and I would go take care of him. Then I remember he was all heavy into wanting to get into the whole gang thing because I was into it, and I would never let him because I didn't want him to turn out like I did. I thought I was protecting him. Sadly, I did it.
So you feel responsible? Like you could have prevented it, or?
In a sense. I guess he was really into that whole lifestyle because I was. Because growing up, that was my era. I was all into gangbanging and smoking and being the hardest, and being a daredevil. And I was exactly like that. And I guess because we were so close and we would always be over, he had sisters, he didn't have brothers. So he just had my 2 cousins, which are his sisters. And I remember he always used to ask me, because I used to be in the tag banging crew or whatever, he would always want me to get him in, and I would never want to. He ended up wandering off on his own, going to do it, and he even got it tatted on him. Last that I remember, he had it on his back, and he was just into the lifestyle as well. But he stood with it, I never did. I left it after a while.
What would you tell him right now?
That I love him and I wish he was still here. he was young. He still had a whole life ahead of him. They weren't sure whether they were going to cremate him or bury him, but he's going to get buried. He's going to have a funeral. Now I think about it, it was sort of like a little brother, because he used to see me, everything I try to do, I think he tried to do as well. Because even me, I started getting tatted at a young age. I got my first like at 15, and he wanted to get one so bad too. And I actually took him to go get his first tattoo, and he was a minor as well. But he had his mindset on it and figured why not, and I took him. And he just kept getting tatted after that.
What was his first tattoo?
His mother's name, and that was before she passed away. It was more before. It's just like I said before, I've always felt so pressured. Felt like I had to mature quicker than an average teenager would have. Not that I'm trying to blame my brothers and I love them, but it is harder when you have a special ed brother and you gotta help, and it's been thrown in my head my whole life since I was a kid that I gotta take care of them. I had to basically not make it for me but for them, because sadly, like my mom's always said, she knows that she's not gonna last long, and it's something that people might take negative, but I guess you could say she was more of a realist. She's being realistic. No matter how much we think it, she knows she's gonna go fast, and she needed me to be mature and take care of household because we didn't have no one else, or at least no one else that she trusted or wanted to leave the house or anything with. I don't know, I guess I felt it was too much pressure, that like I was letting everyone down. And after the whole thing about no one believing me, thinking I was trash, I wasn't gonna turn out to be anything, just all the problems in general. But I could honestly say that no matter what, I don't think I ever had the balls to do it. It just came to a point where I was just thinking about it because I was so tired. But I'm just glad I didn't have the balls to do it at all. I would just tell them, told you so. No matter what, I've always said that I was gonna make it. There are so many people that looked at me, stared at me up and down, have literally told me, and I quote, I could literally look someone up and down and tell if they're gonna make it or not. And they didn't necessarily tell me in my face that I wasn't gonna make it. They just said that and pretty much told me in a nice way that they didn't feel that I was gonna make it. And I've actually had people apologize to me and tell me thinking that they didn't think I was gonna make it and take it as far as I did. And I'm still getting further to this point. Could just say, God bless them. You know what I mean? People think negative, I just keep moving. There's nothing I could do. I just keep going. There's nothing else to do. Can't sit down and cry about it or be pissed about them not thinking I'm gonna make it. Like they say, the best revenge is to prove them wrong. It's exactly what I did. So there's nothing they could tell me now. Just to everyone out there, just keep pushing. Best thing I could tell you, something that I learned, no matter how bad things seem, eventually things start falling into place. It's just a matter of being patient. It's more like a waiting game. And a lot of people don't have the patience and they start going crazy and doing dumb things. Just be patient. Things will fall into place. Just keep pushing. There's nothing you could do. There's no point in being mad at stuff. Just a matter to keep going. Just follow your dream. The way I see it, it's honestly better to know that you've tried and never live with that what if in the back of your mind for the rest of your life. Because I think that's something that depresses people as well. I mean, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But at least you know you tried. Basically, that's it. Just follow your hearts. That's it, really. You know, whatever you're going through now is like they say, there's always someone out there going through something worse. Just enjoy life. You only live it once. And I know I don't want to look back and think how mad or grumpy I was because of some stupid stuff back then. Just laugh at it and live my life, no regrets. So I believe everyone should be able to do that and enjoy their life, so when they're older and they look back and say the stories to their grandkids and everyone, like they have no regrets and they got nothing but great stories to tell. Of course, there's always bad stories and sad dramas and tragedies, but also a lot of great funny ones and life lessons. So I think that's the beauty of it, being able to hit that age and hit no regrets.
I'm very straightforward. I've always told him how much I love him, that he was a wanted child. You know, that we both wanted him. His father and I. Yes, and I'm very proud of him. And I tell him from the bottom of my heart, mijo, I hope you really make it. And probably when you make it, I'll be gone, because that's how it's gonna be. But I'm proud of you now. And I'm letting you know now how much I love you, how much I care for you. And I can't, no matter where I'm at, Papi, I'll always love you. I love you since the moment I knew I was going to have you. And I don't love you. I adore you. I adore him. Him and my other boys.
Whether I hate or love it, she really was. If it wasn't for her, I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably be just like any of my other homeboys right now. Thanks to her pulling me away, and everyone was getting mad for a minute, talking shit, calling me sprung, and getting all mad that I wasn't putting in work for the crew anymore. I don't know, in a way I'm kind of thankful. Yeah, thanks to her and to that, really, I'm at where I'm at today. I wouldn't be able to be here doing this interview. I wouldn't really be rapping. Who knows where I really would have been. So, thank you, my ex-lady, Letty, the mother to my child.
You say blessed a lot. Who do you believe is blessing you?
Really, I would say God, or maybe myself, really, because the way I believe it is, God doesn't hand you anything. He gives you the opportunity to do it, and it's on you whether you go for it or not. And you know what I mean? A lot of people are like, oh, why doesn't God change it, or why aren't things good? He's giving us the opportunity to do as we please, and it's really on us. He's giving you the opportunity to do something good, do something with your life or not. It's on you whether you throw it away or not. It's not really on him. And the way I see it is everyone has the opportunity, and I was just either lucky enough or wised up to where I took advantage of the opportunity I was given. So I consider myself blessed. That makes any sense?
It does. Does your God have a name?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. It has. I've actually gotten a lot of messages through social media, about my beats. A lot of people really liked it. They say it helped them through whatever breakup issues they had, to know they're not the only ones going through problems, they relate to it. So I mean, it feels great that music from back then, because that's a couple years back now, that they still love it and they relate to it. And that's why the music I do, I try to truly have it come from the heart, because people relate to it. The heart is the truth, and people will relate to it, so that's what I'm gonna keep doing. That's what I love to do anyways, as an artist myself. So I'm gonna keep doing it, and I'm glad it reaches a lot of people, and a lot of people are enjoying it. You know, they give me good feedback. You know, a lot of people tell me their stories or why that song helped them. So I mean, that's great. I don't question it. Obviously, life's always unfair. Or not that it's unfair, it's a part of life. I mean, you live, you learn, you love, you lose. I mean, you could gain things, you could lose things in a matter of seconds. It's just, the way I like to see things is everything happens for a reason. There's always a reason why something happened. There's a bad side of things, but there's always a good side to it as well. So I just try to stay with that mentality. Everything happens for a reason. I mean, sadly, the past couple years, I've been averaging out losing a family member a year who happens to be close to me. I mean, of course, I'm sad, and there's no feelings. I wish they could be here with me, but everything happens for a reason, for whatever reason it may be. I know no matter what, they're looking down and they're proud of me. To all my fans, thank you for all the support. It's a great feeling getting recognized and messages. Never really thought, I'm not huge, or I'm not big, or I'm saying I'm a whole lot better than anybody, but you know, it feels great getting recognized, and you know, the messages and people telling me they really like my music and are influenced by it. It's a really great feeling. So I'm really glad that I'm getting the support that I am, and hopefully, you know, I really do touch lives. You know, like I'm saying, not sitting here and saying like I'm the biggest badass or like I was or anything. Like, hopefully my music helps you no matter what you're going through, you know what I mean? Whether it's losing someone, the whole love situation, you know what I mean? Growing up in the hood, whatever the case may be, hopefully my music helps you in some way. I'm gonna keep doing it, you know, keep doing it till I can. So thank you for all the support. Really appreciate it. Hopefully keep on supporting me. Hopefully I keep getting fans. And you know what I mean? I love you guys. Thanks. Know what I mean? Also another great feeling as well. Like, it really is. Like, I know you hear from every artist, but it's a pretty crazy experience. And that me, like, I'm not at a huge level. I ain't no 50 Cent or none of that, but it's still great. Like, it's a great feeling, a great experience. So, want to thank you guys for letting me know how that feels and experience, because you only live once, and I'm one of the lucky few. So I really appreciate that. To my dad, I know he had it kind of hard too. I know also what my mother put you through about trying to see me and all that. Understanding now that I became a father myself. No matter what, at the end, always still looking for me, in spite of how you made me feel at times. But no matter what, I know you love me, and you're always gonna be there for me no matter what, no matter my age. I could tell by the way you get pissed off when I don't answer your phone calls or call you back. Yeah, I love you too, no matter what, and never forget you, and I appreciate everything as well. Not so many kids could say they still have love from their father at my age. Most of them get forgotten by the time they hit 18 and child support's over, and you didn't. Still look for me no matter what, still on my ass, so I appreciate that. Love you, Dad. No matter what, I know we have our ups and downs and our arguments and our fights, and sometimes we can't stand each other, we can't be in the same room. No matter what, in a sense, I know you love me, and everything you did was for my own good, and I understand how hard it was growing up 3 boys on your own and you being independent, not depending on no one, and paying off a mortgage and a truck and working, getting all kinds of clients, and trying to make sure at the same time that I'm coming out to a man of good. Making sure my little brother's coming out to a man of good. No matter what, during everything, I love you, whether you believe it or not, because I know you tell me that I don't, but I do. It's just, I guess we have our own little awkward or weird ways of showing it, and no matter what, I'm gonna be there, just like the day you hit the hospital. So, no matter what, I love you, Mom, and I appreciate everything. I would, hopefully by then, he learns from, obviously no matter what, he has to commit mistakes and he has to learn from them. But I also hope he's smart enough to by then also learn from my mistakes and any of his surroundings' mistakes. Hopefully, who doesn't wish their kid comes out better than them? I do expect him to be better than I am. So when I see him at 18, best believe I'm still gonna be on your ass if you're watching this, and make sure you're coming out good. And hopefully we still got that great father-son connection going, no matter what career path you choose, what school you want to go to. Yeah, he's really not going to have no excuse, because I know what it's like going through financial aid. It's really hard. And he has a fund from both me and his mother, so by the time he hits 18, he has money for school, so no excuses.
How much do you love him?
A lot, more than anything. Like I said, January 22nd was a very special day for me. It really changed for me. Like, yeah, a whole new learning experience about loving, all the good times. Really enjoying. I still can't explain the feeling, honestly. So more than you could imagine, I love my son. I don't know. You never know. Baby might be a little rapper. I mean, he loves recording with me in the studio when he comes over. He always tells me he wants to do shows with me. That why do I do shows without him? He's only 4 years old. He already picks up the mic and likes to rap or pretend like he's rapping. And like, he just loves sitting down in the studio and watch me work. You never know. If he wants to be an artist, I'll support him 100%. Whatever he wants to be, whether he wants to be an artist, whether he wants to be a football player, basketball player, a doctor, a lawyer, doesn't matter, whatever he wants to be, I'll support him 100%. But we'll see when the time comes.
There we go. Public I'm a kitchen.
In your kitchen?
Yeah.
Oh, because you make breakfast, so I thought maybe you cooked it too.
I just make cereal whenever I wake up.
Oh. Okay.
No. Papa Trinity should make it.
No, he does. He says he does make his cereal.
I want to make it.
Oh no! Someone got inspired.
I tried Papa.
You know what's crazy? I have a baby picture.
Uh-huh.
You saw the one wearing the overalls, right?
Yeah.
He looks just like me in that picture.
No,
Yeah.
he's your little twin.
Yeah.
I mean, totally. Like, you don't have to convince us.
Yeah.
Papi, I'm smart at school.
Baby, come here.
Okay, we're gonna film right now, okay, baby?
I made you kiss my Michelangelo.
Mm-hmm. So how's it feel having your own studio now?
Feels great. Real great.
Huge accomplishment?
Yeah. Beginning. It's definitely the beginning.
So where are we taking this? What's in the future?
Oh man, multi-million-dollar studio, big old boards, big rooms, everything, the whole 9 yards. Always gotta dream big.
Man, how many years later are we now? 4? So we started this 4 years ago.
Yeah, time flies.
How do you feel about where you're at now and with everything that's come and gone, and what do you want to tell your fans that still follow you and still rooting for you?
I feel good. I feel like it's just a part of life. I'm just living my life right now.
Hey, Papa.
We're filming right now, JoJo. Yeah. My son's in the background making a bunch of noise. But
Very, very
yeah,
careful.
feel good. It's just a part of life. Things we go through, and just gotta keep pushing. So I just continue to do what I love because it makes me happy and get results. Say hi to the camera. You know you're on camera, right?
Hi!
Best thing I could say is live life and enjoy it. Everything happens for a reason, and take your time, because even though life is short, everything will happen in the right time. Everything happens for a reason, like I said. So just enjoy life.
What's the greatest words of wisdom your mother gave you?
A lot of them, obviously. Obviously, if I would have listened to my mother the first time she told me things, I probably would have been in way better situations, or I probably could have avoided a lot of little dumb things I got myself in. So always listen to your mother, kids. I could say the one that helped me the most was being completely independent, not depending on anybody. That's something that I'm truly proud of, and I see how important it is, because I'm able to provide for a whole household, pay mortgage, obviously a new car that I'm getting, and all that, all by myself, not depending on anyone. You know, it's a great thing, and that's something that honestly a lot of people cannot say. That's something that many people claim, but truthfully cannot really do. And too many people are dependent, and I think that's the biggest thing that my mom passed over to me. She was a very independent woman, never depended on anyone. She would always just depend on herself and do what she had to do to get what she wanted to provide for us. So I'm the exact same way. I'm on my own. I do not depend on anybody whatsoever, and I do what I got to do to provide for me and my family.
You know, I'm glad that he's the way he is, because I tell him, no matter how rich, you know, how famous you get, you always have to look back and remember that you have a family who loves you, and family comes first. And blood is thicker than water. And I'm very proud of him for him to be like that.
Is there anything else you want to add to this? Do you want to close it anyway? Do you want to say?
Well, for all these dreamers out there who dream, you could make it if you try. You know, you just look up in the sky and you just go forward. And look at my son, he's, you know, like you said, coming from where he's coming from, and he wants to be a man of good. And you will make it if you try. That's all you have to try. Want to try. Yes.
That's great.
Very beautiful. It was very good, sweetheart. Thank you.
Not really. Is there anything else you want me to touch on? I met Jasper, any of that? No?
It's the greatest words of wisdom your mother gave you.
And don't let that hold you back, and don't be ashamed of you being poor. You make sure you tell them you're a poor Mexican.
Yo, it's your boy JG Gonzalez, aka representing East LA, and it is finished.